You're safe for now. I am General Argonauts. This is Adelpha, I charge. You are to be commended for your assistance in helping me put down the Ionian threat.
I was happy to help. There are people in the village. Would you escort the young lady safely back?
Of course, young warrior. And if there are any Ionians between here and there, I've got plenty more to give them.
There aren't any Ionians between here and there, are there?
The way is clear. Stay to the path and go straight back.
Come, Adelpha. No one will stand in our way.
You sure it's clear?
It will be once I'm done for Athena!
Something that's very interesting to me about games journalism and the way that we review games is how much the chronology of game releases really influences our opinions. As I've said, if you've been following along, you will know that I have a very positive opinion of Rise of the Argonauts so far. I've really enjoyed a lot this game has to offer. Looks like I have a little branch here. Which way do I want to go? I guess I'll go this way. I didn't see this on my map. It's almost like a little hidden area. There's nothing here. Okay. But yeah, I've had a very positive experience with Rise of the Argonauts, and it's made me really wonder why this game is so underrated, you know? It's not a game that gets a lot of press. It's not one that I've heard about really from a lot of friends. I just found it because I was looking for similar games to, you know, BioWare titles, like Mass Effect and Dragon Age. And I think because this game came out in, you know, in an environment where we already had Mass Effect and Dragon Age, it was a lot less well received. You know, if this game had come out, you know, 2 years earlier, and it was the first of its kind to really use this conversation wheel system, this kind of action RPG combat and such, it would have been a big deal, you know. As it is, the game came out in the mid to late term of this this generation's life cycle, and I think that really has a lot to do with the poor reviews and the really lack of notoriety that this game got. You know, if it had been a launch title for, you know, the 360 or the PS3, then I think that people would really have taken a lot more notice. So that's something that's, again, kind of unique to games journalism versus other kinds of media and the way we review, you know, movies, books, other things. We're a lot less likely to, you know, think less of a book for having similar elements to other books than we are for a game, you know. For some reason, with regard to video games, being derivative is almost always a pejorative term. You know, it's always a bad thing. That was one of the main criticisms of Darksiders. Is, oh, well, it's too much like, you know, God of War. It's too much like Prince of Persia or whatever, you know. And I think that really kind of unfairly influenced a lot of reviewers' opinions of Rise of the Argonauts. That it's too much like Mass Effect, but it's not as good as Mass Effect. It's too much like Dragon Age, but not as good as Dragon Age. I think you really need to be a little bit more fair and take each game in its own right, you know? Oh, there's no side quest there. There's just a bunch of Ionians in the woods. Okay. But it does lead to this little hidden area right here. The healer.
Thank you. I was hoping you'd find me out here.
You were aware of our presence?
In a sense. In Athena's sanctuary, we could feel the passage of time, but not as you do. Others who have come, we see only as passing shadows. But you are clear to us. As you approached, I could see fully again. I'm glad you came when you did. Not for my own sake, you understand, but for the child's.
Eleni is with the girl now.
Then Dimitri is in good hands. But I must hurry back. The girl's fever must be broken soon, or it will kill her.
Cassia, do you know what's happened in the temple?
Not since I left to tend to Demetria. I was serving as the High Priestess Medusa's personal healer. So I have seen firsthand the changes that have occurred in the temple since Phaedon arrived. Changes to our laws, our customs, and to Medusa herself.
What were the changes to the law?
Before, we had a system of laws that were established so that everyone would know them. Phaedon gave more powers to the judges, allowing them to decide cases as they personally saw fit. Of course, Phaedon often sits as judge himself.
Ah, good old judicial review.
How did Phaedon influence your customs?
The temple and the village were once closely joined. The priest would often come to the Ring of Virtues and speak with the people directly. They would even bring the fleece there and use it to heal the suffering. Phaedon stopped all that. Ordinary people are no longer allowed in the temple, and the fleece is not allowed out.
What happened to Medusa?
Medusa was always a bit vain. Athena, forgive me for saying so. It is her great weakness. Phaedon played to that vanity. He feeds her constant flattery. She was once serious and concerned about her station and the people. But more and more, she has ceded her authority to Phaedon, while she spends her days in idle amusement.
Go, Cassia. Return to the village where it's safe.
I will. I just pray I'm not too late to save Demetria.
Alright, so I assume that was the last one. Just gotta head on back to the village. We'll see how that side quest with the sick little girl turned out, and then we'll go into the temple itself to presumably meet Perseus and Medusa.
Here, did proud Arachne hang herself after realizing the folly of her arrogance. The weaver, whose skill was flawless but whose wisdom wasn't, chose to challenge Athena herself. Arachne wove a tapestry disrespectful to the gods. When compared to the noble work of Athena, Arachne could not bear her shame. Athena took pity on Arachne and turned her lifeless form into a spider.
Skill without discipline or wisdom is only potential.
Yes, very wise, Pan, very wise. What way am I supposed to be going? Straight ahead, okay. Well, it looks like there's something over here. Just a little pond. Splashing around in the kiddie pool. So one of the things I've been most impressed with in this game so far is the character designs. I really like the art direction. I think it's very imaginative. And I really like the take they've given to a lot of these characters. So I'm very interested to see what Perseus and Medusa look like. Open sesame.
There, child. How does that feel?
Better. It's not as hot anymore.
You've done it, Cassia. Thank you.
Thank the herbs, not me.
Or
thank
this
man and his friends, or yourself for that matter, for pointing them to me. Without you all, I'd still be in the swamps.
Few deeds are done alone. We all played a part.
You both are humble and strong with Athena. I'm afraid I still have much to learn.
Worry not, Eleni. No matter who you are, life will freely provide you many lessons in humility.
Alright. So, we're ready to go into the temple, huh? Nice and shiny.
On behalf of Kithra Village, I want to thank you. You have restored not just the Ring of Virtues, but our people as well. It
was Athena's will that you be saved. Now, our business lies in the temple.
Be careful. Ionians followed Perseus inside before the gates closed, and Phaeton may still be there as well.
Fancy door. I'm away, dude. Alright, here we are in the temple itself.
Anyone else still thinking about that little girl? Strixa. That was it. What happened to her?
I have a feeling we'll see her again.
What do you mean?
Yeah, pretty sure she's Athena's pet. Wow. Oh, look! More bad guys! Let's do it, punks. Oh, Herm.
Ahead lies the Temple of Athena, sanctuary of the Golden Fleece. Praise and glory to Athena the Bright-Eyed, Athena the Virgin, Athena of the city.
Why does a temple need to be so large? The Nisiros prefer to pray in nature, out in the forest, or near the water's edge. The last place I'd want to speak to my gods would be among the cold stones of such a place.
Temples are often more than just places to pray, Atalanta. They are where people gather to share news, or discuss their concerns, or decide important matters. At some temples, people receive healing or take part in sacred ceremonies, such as marriage or sacrifice.
I suppose. Still, seems like they could do all that in a smaller space.
Oh, silly Atalanta, you country bumpkin.